Hey, it's Mark with Onyx. I want to talk today about a trend I see in law enforcement. And what it is I see a trend going back more to an up-tempo movement style. And I see teams talking against it, saying, oh no, we do mission-based movement, we do covert, we do warrant service, we do our hostage rescue. And I say, okay, show me them. And they look pretty much the same. And I say, well, covert is very slow. And they go, yeah, we go slow. But it's just, for them, a slow walk. And that's much too fast. Anyway, I want to talk about it in terms of an analogy that I've kind of thought up with. Why do we have speed limits when we drive? Well, for three reasons, right? Well, more of the reasons, but let's talk about three basic reasons that I can relate to tactics. First one is that we don't want to overdrive our abilities, we don't want to overdrive our equipment, and we don't want to overdrive the environment, right? Our abilities. We don't know. There's a lot of people out there, varying degrees of drivership, right? We want to allow for those people to be able to make good decisions. Our equipment, a lot of different vehicles out there, some really fast, some really slow. We want to be able to even it out, so we have that speed limit set. Our environment, right? City streets like here in Denver, they're tight. You can't let people drive 80 miles an hour. Even if you got a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or a Corvette, you're not going to be able to drive 80 miles an hour down the street because the environment's the same for everybody, right? It doesn't change for you because your car is faster. So what we do is we just have people with really fast cars driving slowly. Now, same thing with tactics, right? We want to make sure that we're not, I see a trend now that there's this emphasis on equipment, right? We have the night vision goggles so we can go work at night, we can keep all the lights off. We want our lighter plate carriers to less restrictive movement. We got all this equipment, we've got our suppressors, we've got our lasers, we got all this kind of stuff. We've got this military training that's coming back, and that's not a problem in itself. The thing is that we start to simplify everything to accommodate that one style of movement, right? Which is a building clear. And in terms of civilian policing, a building clear is going to be much slower because of what you're trying to avoid, right? And so my thing about it is, if we look at it like that, we take the analogy of driving and we apply it to the tactics, we can see that we want to slow down. We don't want to increase the speed limit because that's not going to help us in our decision-making abilities, right? Even though we have great equipment, even though we have a style of movement that will work for some situations, right? You got a Ferrari, it's great on a track, it's great on an open road. But in a tight city street, it now is equalized to the slowest of cars, even somebody on a scooter, right? Because of the environment. So we have to understand how to adapt all that kind of stuff and not think, and go back to remembering our foundational principles, one of them being situation dictates the tactics, right? And not change it around that we're going to create the situation or modify the situation to accommodate our tactics. That's when we're going to get into problems. So, think about it. I'm not saying that the equipment's bad. I'm not saying that the tactics are bad. Nothing like that. I'm saying that we have to understand the environment that we work in. We have to understand our abilities, and we have to understand the equipment that we're using and use it appropriately for the situation. All right? If you got any comments, questions, or concerns about this, please comment, direct message me, hit me up on Facebook, email me, mneil@onyxtg.com. The link is in my bio. I'd love to talk to you about it and hear your perspective. My belief is that in civilian law enforcement, we're not at war. We're not in battle with anybody. Our mission is to save lives, and we should be doing things with a human-centered, principle-based decision-making process. All right? So hopefully this is giving you some information to help you. Understand that I'm all about law enforcement and I'm here to help. And keeping in mind with my 2020 vision of how can I help. I think a reminder like this is necessary every once in a while. I've been in this business since the mid-90s, and I've seen the change, and I see it coming back around, and I don't think we need to be speeding things up, okay? If anything, we need to be slowing things down. All right, hey, train smart, stay safe, and be better.